Y'all know I ain't lying. Yes, sir. Y'all, welcome to Bed With Y'all. It's about to be phenomenal. It's about to go down, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. What's up, everybody? Do me a favor, like, share, tag, y'all. Welcome to Bed With. Do me a favor and let everybody know we're on, y'all. We have a special guest in the building, y'all. It's going to be phenomenal, y'all. Man, Bandwidth is cutting up, dog. First of all, let me tell you this. 13,934 podcast download. I'll have you know, 1,613 YouTube subscribers. Y'all told me I wouldn't be able to do this thing, but slap you in your face. Your boy did it. Hey, he killing it.
Yeah.
Man, what's up, y'all? How y'all feel?
I feel great.
You love that blue dress, boy. You love that blue dress, boy. God, dog, boy.
I'll be quiet.
You love that blue dress, but you got to get more. You got to get more political dresses.
It's not.
That is so nice. That is so nice.
You got to get more political dresses.
Courtney has okay.
We know you voting Democrat.
All I know is that today is the first day of the Democratic National Convention, so I'm wearing my Democratic blue.
Man,
I love it.
who you voting for? We in a pickle. We're in a pickle. We're in a pickle, dog. We are in a huge pickle. Do you think, all right, how do we pronounce her name?
Think of
La.
Kamala.
So it's not Kamala. It's Kamala.
La.
All right, now I'm asking that because
People be jacking
it's
her
a
name.
thing.
Up.
It's a thing.
People say Kamala.
I
hear people say Kamala.
Kamala.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kamala.
Like a black
Kamala.
Do you think she's gonna win this?
Jesus.
I am rooting. I'm rooting for Vice President Kamala Harris.
I didn't ask you that. I didn't ask you are you rooting for. I'm rooting for a lot of stuff that won't ever happen.
You don't think she's gonna win?
I don't think so. Here's why. And
oh, I'm so excited.
yeah, here's why. Listen, dog. This is still America, dog.
Yeah.
All right. A white woman by the name of Hillary Clinton that used to be the first lady of the country, they wouldn't let her in.
This is true.
Okay. The Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. Now we have a black woman running against a white man. Ain't happening. It's not happening. It's not happening. America, white men who run America will not answer to a woman, let alone a black woman. Somebody argue with me in the comments. It ain't happening. Yeah. Now, what do I want? I don't know. I don't know. Here's why. Beyond male, female, I'm looking at what a person is backing. I have some concerns about certain policies that are affecting our children that I cannot support. I just can't do it. I don't know. I'm praying. I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah. I need someone to say we are against certain things.
You will not get that from the Democratic Party.
You're not getting it.
I'm going ahead and tell you that. You're going to get that from moderate Democrats. I know a few who are pro-life and pro. Wait a minute.
Oh, my bad. I thought this was my drink.
In front of me.
Oh, this is the taste test stuff. All right, well, let's do it at the same time. Let's talk politics and drink up a little bit. I don't drink liquor, so we can do this.
Me neither.
Is it good?
Yeah, we can skip taste test. Don't even worry about that segment.
Is it good?
Don't even worry about this
It's
segment.
a lemon soda.
Don't worry about this segment.
It's sour.
It's sour.
Can we go ahead and try it?
Yeah, go ahead and try it, man.
This is Warhead soda. Imagine.
Only thing that makes this good is that it's cold.
Is it sour? It's too sour.
It's unnecessary. It's an unnecessary invention.
It tastes like the candy. Yes. This lemon one.
Going back to your youth.
This tastes like Robitussin.
The days of your youth.
No, this tastes like
the
Robitussin.
candy was much better than this. The candy was much better than this.
No.
Agreed. It was about this tastes like Robitussin. This don't taste good. This
Y'all
nasty.
never had a peach warhead though. I've never had a peach warhead.
Me neither.
I've always had lemon.
I had the blue one.
Y'all like sharing tag, man.
Yeah,
it's nasty.
Yeah, like sharing tag. But I'm not this. I'm talking about the show.
This nasty.
This ain't it.
Warheads.
Wow.
So you said we're not getting that.
No. Yuck.
You're gonna get that from certain moderate Democrats, and they usually don't it's difficult for them. I know some that are pro-life and pro-choice at the same time. They appeal to a different.
Will she
type of-
win?
Say again.
Will she win?
Will she win?
Yes. Will she be our president?
I think so. I am personally rooting for her. I think that she. Okay, so here I don't want to get too deep in the woods because I could get deep into the woods, but I'm not going to.
So first of all, we don't even like the woods like that. We don't go to. We stay in the street. So stay in the street for us.
Okay, so some of my thoughts are the level of support that's around her right now. It's not like Obama because we've never seen anything like President Obama in 2008. You know, the level of support and momentum behind his campaign. We're seeing something like that. with
Will
Kamala.
America allow a female to run the country?
Okay, so what happened with Hillary Rodham Clinton? She was Secretary of State. She was First Lady. She was extremely educated. She was more than qualified for it. I think what really sunk her, and of course this is completely up to debate, I think what really sunk her was that whole email, the Benghazi situation. And if you notice, that whole thing, because she was doing well and everybody thought she was going to win, they strategically waited until a few days before the election to really drop the real bomb of what happened with that whole situation. And I think that affected her. Of course, the electoral college, and of course she won the popular vote. That's only happened a few times in history where someone has won the popular vote, but they lost the electoral college vote. So I honestly think that she has a chance. I think she has the potential to do well. I think that if she is going to win, we're going to have to do what we got to do if we truly support her. And again, I'm not, whatever, just vote your party, vote your conscience, do your research, whatever you feel and whatever you believe. But I think
You know what
she
I
has a
think?
chance. Yes.
I think we should not, as if you are a spiritual leader, I don't think you should be talking about who you should vote for in the pulpit.
Okay. So you're literally going into my segment.
All right, let's do it then. Go for it.
Are you serious?
No, I'm playing about
Oh my
that. Do your segment,
no.
man.
Okay, so real quick. So real quick. One of the things I've been fascinated by is really having an understanding of why Black people are voting for Trump. I've never really took the time to really research it. I've never really took the time to really think about it because a lot of times we just people say, for lack of a better term, oh, they're just Uncle Toms or oh, they've been brainwashed or whatever. But there is a reason why Black people are voting for Trump. And I really wanted to do some research on it. So just real quickly, the reason why I said you're going into my segment was I had a very close family member. She's now gone to be with the Lord. She was a staunch Trump supporter. She was a pastor. She loved Jesus, all of those different things. Two things is what really drove her support for Trump. Number one, she watched Christian television all the time, and there were prophetic voices on the Christian shows that were prophesying specifically concerning Trump. That it was just prophetic words saying he's God's man, he's God's man, he's God's man. And then the other thing was, of course, she watched Fox News all the time. And it didn't matter what anybody said, she was like a staunch, no, this is who's supposed to be in office. And so that's one of the reasons why she was just completely staunchly Trump. And so that's why I said it's funny that you said that, because that's one of the reasons that a lot of people have voted for Trump, and they're going to vote for Trump. But I wanted to play a video really quickly of some Don Lemon. Of course, y'all know he was on CNN. He actually interviewed a demographic that the Republican Party and really everybody's really trying to go after: Black men who have been so often neglected when you talk about politics. He talked to some Black men on the street, and he wanted to know who they were voting for. And I want y'all to hear what they got to say.
Supporting Donald Trump. Do you believe that? But who are you voting for?
Donald Trump.
Trump. Have to go Trump, man.
You said Trump.
Yes.
I think they are, and I think the reason why, the money he gave away last time he was in office is what they're looking for again.
What money?
Even if it was illegally or legally, the PPE loans, stimulus, and stuff like that.
That wasn't him.
Who was that?
That was a Democratic Congress.
Oh, that was
He doesn't give away money.
I didn't know that. I didn't know what they probably think that's what the case is.
They're actually looking and seeing who's going to benefit me more. Let me not just make a blind vote.
He run with the color people. He run with our type. That's why we like him, because he's more for us.
I think A lot of black men, they want something different. They don't just want to follow the black vote.
Are y'all in the same household?
Yes, sir.
He kind of feel like his vote doesn't count almost. That's the part that's kind of discouraging.
The top people see a difference, but the bottom people don't see a difference too much. It takes a long time for us to see a difference.
Stuff happened with George Floyd. I say he gave us stimulus checks. Even though that was nothing, he didn't have to do that. He still blessed us with stimulus checks.
You know, he didn't do the stimulus checks. He didn't want to do it. That was a Democratic Congress. He only held it up to get his name on the check.
I did not know that. F Trump, man. I don't like Trump no more. F Trump, Kamala Harris, Kamala for president. Kamala for president.
I feel like they're brainwashed, honestly. He's not for us. He can't denounce white supremacy, setting rappers free, pardoning rappers to try to get their, try to get the sympathy vote from black people, and they fall for it.
Man, come on, man. Come on, man. Camilla, man. Camilla, Georgia. Hey, my boy was like, I didn't know that. So holla this man. Talk to us.
Okay, so of course we see, what you can see, a lot of people are voting for Trump because of the whole stimulus check piece. But we know, y'all, that was not Trump. That was
we don't know.
Okay.
No, we don't. Hear me. We don't know. This is why I put you on this platform, because we do not know.
We don't know.
You'll be surprised, out of the few dozen people that just listened to that video.
Camilla Trump.
Yeah, we do not know this. Most people think that the president sends money to us. My boy said he blessed us with that check.
He blessed us.
He blessed her, dog.
Enlarge my territory.
Whoever sent it now, whoever sent it then, send it now. We need another blessing. But tell us about that, though.
Okay, y'all, that was a democratically led Congress that approved those checks going through. And y'all, he did not want to approve those stimulus checks. The only reason why he really just went ahead and approved it because he wanted his name to be attached to it. That is the only reason why we got those stimulus checks. Thank your Nancy Pelosi's, your Hakeem Jeffries, those people that are in Congress. Those are the people that really pushed that through. And they had to work together. Of course, both sides of the aisle had to work together, but that was a Democratic-led Congress that pushed that through. So number one, people think that Donald Trump gave away those stimulus checks. That was a Democratic-led Congress. Of course, because I looked and I did some research on why people are actually supporting Trump. Number one, they're saying that Trump has conservative values that.
That's what I was suggesting earlier.
Exactly. Okay. That, those moderates and those who don't really, those conservative values that they said that the country is losing. Trump was giving a lot of money to small business owners. You have a lot of people of color that are small business owners. And so they're saying that when Biden got in office, you just didn't see a whole lot of that. There are some people, I even saw somebody said that they support Trump's policies on basically stopping and frisking. And one person said, they said at 41 years old, I agree. When I was younger, I felt like I was being harassed, but as I walked down the street, I didn't have to worry about the safety of my son. So basically, it was a better time when you had more stringent laws about stopping and frisking and stuff like that. And so they believe that's another reason that people are voting for Trump. And so MSNBC, they recently did like a round table with a whole bunch of black men. And the interviewer, which was also a black man, basically asked, how many of y'all know at least one brother that's voting for Donald Trump? All of them raised their hands. And so they said, well, has Kamala Harris, like her entering the race, has that changed that at all? And they said, absolutely not.
Yeah.
So literally, there are people who they're going to vote for President Trump. And I think I even saw something that said 29%, and this is before Kamala Harris got into the race, 29% of all black people in the state of New York are voting for Donald Trump. That's a huge number, and the black vote has been the bedrock of Democratic politics. Understand this. Number one, the Republican Party has always been, historically, it was the party of Lincoln. So black folk, when they could vote during Reconstruction, they voted Republican. But it wasn't until FDR, JFK, LBJ, that they really started going toward more so towards the Democratic, towing that line. But we're starting to see a major shift because of these different reasons. But I wanted to ask the band, I want to ask y'all, what are some of the reasons that you all are seeing that people are really deciding to vote for Donald Trump?
Can I be honest?
Be honest.
We don't have educated reasons. We have assumed reasons why we should be voting for Donald Trump. I don't mean to be offensive, but the black community. I like what one of the gentlemen said. Paraphrasing, he was saying, people like us at our level. You know, that's why I like, you know, the interview walking about getting regular people. Regular people are not, specifically black people, normal, common black folks. We have not been well versed in politics. So we kind of come up with our own assumptions. We do barbershop education. Man, that man said, so I don't think that black people by and large know who they should be voting for and why. We stop at color and assumptions like checks. We think that checks come. We think that, I don't know if we have educated reasons on why and who we should be voting for. Yeah. So I think America can bamboozle us.
Absolutely.
All the way down to white evangelical television can bamboozle. The Lord says, and so you got black folk who are charismatic Christians. They're like, yep, the prophet said it, so that's it. So I think we need more education. So if you could give, and I hope this is not too much. If you could give one reason why, one positive thing about President Donald Trump, what would you say? Just one positive thing that's educated and researched. What has he done for real? All right, there you have it, y'all. Welcome to Bear With Y'all. Coming up, we have a phenomenal interview, y'all, with Jaquella Unique. It's about to go down, y'all. Let's start some commercials.
Can happen in just 24. Dr. Gabe's latest single, 24, is now available on your favorite music streaming platform. Be sure to download and stream today. Let's make 24 go #1.
I need you to do me a favor. I'm trying to get rich and famous. Trying to get rich. Do me a favor. Leave a review. If this is your favorite podcast, which I know it is. I need you to go. It's at the bottom there, somewhere around the left or right, and leave a review. I don't care if it's good, bad. I don't care if it's negative. Say something, please. Then, so you can always be notified that I am live, press the subscribe button now. We're trying to make money out here so we can continue to give you some great content. I love you so much, and I know you love me too. Press the subscribe button. Let's make some money. Yo, what's up, everybody? Me Paper Light Shred Tag, yo. We have in the studio right now the infamous, world famous esthetician, beauty business connoisseur, entrepreneur, Jaquella Unique, y'all. Y'all show your love. Jaquella, what's up, man? Talking to Mike real quick. Look. I got a bunch of questions.
Okay.
First of all, thank you for coming.
I'm honored to be here, sir.
You're famous. You're viral. Everybody knows you. So I think that entrepreneurship has powerful. I think it's overrated, and here's why: because I think people have done it and they didn't have the grace to do it. They didn't have the ability to do it. How did you do this? You are, in our eyes, I know you're probably gonna be humble and take the humble approach, but in our eyes, you killed it. I'm talking, there's a bunch of estheticians out there. How did you get here?
My journey here has been very unconventional, non-traditional. I have went against industry standards because I understand that the industry standard is not my standard. So I want to start back to my entryway into the industry. Is that okay?
Yeah, please.
So I am a daughter of 4 girls. I'm the middle child.
Okay.
I was the first daughter to go 4 hours away to college.
Wow.
After I graduated college in 2017, I started at Albany State University, and then I transferred back in state. I'm from Alabama, very small town, Anniston. I transferred to Alabama State to finish up my last 2 years. I graduated. But when I graduated in 2017, I didn't feel at the time that I was ready to jump into auditioning because I had had some intimate deaths in the family. I really wanted to take some time to really increase my level of skill.
Auditioning for what?
Films, movies.
Really?
Yes, sir.
So that's what you were going to do?
Absolutely.
Stop playing with them.
No, this is for real.
Okay, keep going.
So I decided that I needed to do something because life was about to kick me in the butt. I had real responsibilities. And so I wanted to try something new, something fresh, but something that was near and dear to my heart, something that I just naturally thrived in. And it's always been beauty for me. And so with that, I started off with eyelash extensions. I found an esthetician. She had been an esthetician for over a decade in Atlanta. The 2-day training was $1,297. That sounded like a lot of money to me. To my mother, to my family, nobody had never spent no money like that to send no child, no cousin to no training like that. So what I did was I decided I was going to sell my clothes, my shoes. I sold bundles of hair I had not worn yet, hats. All of this is documented still on social media. I laid everything out on the floor and I said, hey, y'all, I'm trying to get some money up to go to a training. My grandmother at the time, God rest her soul, she said, hey, take what you have, come back to the house, and let's do a yard sale. So that's what I did. Mom pulled furniture out her house. Mom put pictures off her wall. We set up, literally, I'm from a small town, not country, dirt roads, but small town. People came, they purchased stuff, and so I was well on my way. I started to take clients after I completed the training. But then I realized I wasn't going to get far where I'm from. I knew I was way too big, and my calling was not to stay in Anniston. So I decided I was going to get on live, and I did. I got on live. I said, hey, y'all, I'm finna get ready to move to Atlanta, Georgia. I didn't know where I was going to live. I told them I was about to enroll into aesthetic school. I had not toured no school. I hadn't toured any school. But I did. I had family members, they told me. They said, yeah, you can come stay with us. Wow. Because we know you're going to do it. As long as you got a plan, you can come stay. So that's what I did. I didn't know at the time, because I'm from such a small town, I didn't know at the time how far I was driving from and to school every day. I was driving an hour and 30 minutes every day, Monday through Friday to school. And so I finished school, got the humanitarian award, and people was like, who is this girl?
Yeah.
Everybody was in school. They were trying to figure out what their plan was. I had already came in with a plan because I was already working before I became an esthetician. And so I finished aesthetic school, graduated, and we secured a suite in Midtown off of Northside Drive and 10th Street. And if anybody know what that area is, right in the heart of the city, that area looked nothing how it looks now. But thank God for, he was my boyfriend at the time. He's now my husband.
And he's in the studio with us right now, y'all. Stop playing with him.
He's a native of Atlanta, and so he was very familiar with the landscape of the city. And so the area that I ended up in, I was taken to another location. They said, hey, we have these suites that are already ready. They said, we do have another location, but we have not broken ground for that location. And so my husband, who's my boyfriend at the time, he said, let us see that location. They told him where it said. They said, we're sorry, sir. We know the area, it does look a little dilapidated, but we still would like to take you there if you're up for it. Brandon said, yeah, I want to see it. We went. It was nothing but bare bones there. Brandon said, we want to secure it right now. We secured the suite. I got into the suite, but before I did, I leveraged a connection. The same lady that trained me for lashes, she allowed me to rent a suite in her spa. She charged me $125 a week for booth rent. I paid that booth rent until my suite was ready. And we did a grand opening for that suite in the city. And from there, a year later, at 24 years old, I touched over 6 figures. This was all new to me to touch that amount of money in a new city. I knew no one. Granted, my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband, he was my guide to the city, but nobody gave me customers. This was all me starting from the ground up in a new city. So that's where we are. We started off as Unique Beauty ATL. I built the clientele up. I used my expertise. I continued to train, invested thousands, and so we rebranded. We changed the name from Unique Beauty ATL into what you guys see now as Skinostics.
So let's go back. People don't. I don't know if people know this, but you were trained by Michelle Obama's esthetician.
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
Absolutely. So through the years of training, I always knew that if I didn't have anything else, I could always have my education.
Yeah.
So anything that I've ever put my hands on, I've always known that if you don't have any models to show you performing the treatment on, go back to your roots. You're educated. Tell them what you know. So I've always wanted to seek out the best education. Well, Michelle Obama's esthetician, while they were in the White House, her name is Dr. Joelle Lee. She started to do a tour around different states, and I was able to get in on one of her first set of tours. She treated Michelle Obama while they were in the White House, pretty much did a chemical peel on her every week. We would have never known because the type of treatment she was doing, it is basically a no-peel peel. You still get the same benefits of a chemical peel, but you do not see the physical shedding of the skin.
That sounds expensive.
We have different price points for that.
We're going to talk about it in a minute.
Absolutely.
Keep going.
But she trained me. I went to her training. At the time, I don't believe that me and Brandon, we had enough money to fly. So me and Brandon, we packed up and we drove to, I believe it was Dallas, Texas at the time. We got on the road, we traveled, and he made sure I was there. And that's what we did. I took that training, I sat amongst her, and I was able to learn firsthand techniques about how to treat specifically skin of color with a specialization in acne and hyperpigmentation. And so that is in my arsenal. I sat at her feet and I learned how to treat skin with topical products and also with laser technology.
So you didn't just pick this up. You are educated and an entrepreneur.
Oh, absolutely. And I believe that's what sets me apart from traditional estheticians. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not just an esthetician. There's a difference in that.
What's the difference?
Some people just go to school to become an esthetician, but they have no knowledge about the daily operations of a business, and that's why the business suffers, and they don't know how to have a sustainable business. They don't know what it takes to build. So they're just doing the skill, but they don't know anything about the back end, the front end, and that's just where I've always naturally thrived. If I was going to school to be an actress, have these stages, I've used social media as my stage, and I've used the power of storytelling to be able to convey messaging to my audience, and they've received it well.
Now, what's the you've been on the platform with Pinky Cole.
I have.
You've been on the platform with David Shands.
I have.
How there was a moment between you and David Shands where he said something to you, and I want you to tell us, and then what happened in that moment?
In that moment, he was asking me what did I believe the business needed at the time. And I told him I believe that the business needed funding. We were in the middle of transition, going from primarily a service-based business to me treating clients in person, being hands-on with them. And I decided last March of 2023 to close the physical location and transition the business to a full e-commerce model. We wanted to just sell products exclusively online, direct to consumer. So I believe that we needed funding to put it into marketing, campaigns, ad spend, things like that. Well, as I'm telling him this, and mind you, that's not even the reason why I went on his show. I went on his show for something totally different.
Wow.
But I understand marketing.
Yeah.
So because I understand marketing, I know how things can be twisted.
That's right.
And the real won't ever be exposed.
We won't do that on this show.
Oh, absolutely
Okay.
not. So because of that, I told him that I believe that the business was in needing of funding of about $20,000. He asked me how much. And so he was asking me a couple of questions of things that I had done. Had I done specific things prior to me showing up to his show? I told him I hadn't. And because I told him I hadn't, he told me, he said, listen, I believe you're very educated. I believe you know what you're talking about, but I wouldn't give you $20,000.
And why wouldn't he, for you to have so much success prior to coming to his show? Now we're talking about David Shands. He's the entrepreneur guru.
Absolutely.
How did that make you feel from that type of person, that type of success, when he said, hey, if I had the money, I don't think you should be invested into?
At the time, I really had to practice emotional intelligence, which I'm always going to do that on a platform as such.
Mm-hmm.
But inside, I was wrestling with the fact of, did this man really just say that to me?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't really think, he really don't know who I am.
Yeah.
Like this, oh God, he doesn't know who, he don't know who I am, Jaqueline. Like, that's what I was saying to myself inside. And I believe that he took moments of my story and where I was at presently, but he don't know what I had endured 12 hours prior to that. Nobody knows, but nobody cares either. It's not his job to care.
Sure.
He only knew what I had told him in the moment without any prior context surrounding where I was in that moment. And so he took a moment, a piece of what he heard me tell him, and he summed that up to be the narrative of my journey and who I was as a person and as an entrepreneur.
And so he said he would not invest how much?
$20,000.
$20,000.
Absolutely.
And so what happened the next day?
12 hours later, the next morning, I ended up leaving Georgia to go and spend some time back at home in Anniston, Alabama. I woke up the next morning, I was getting ready to actually create some content, and I noticed that I had a TikTok video. It was blowing up. The notifications was going crazy. And I'm like, well, what video is this? Because I haven't made one recently. There was a video that I made the first week in January. Mind you, I went on David Shands' show at the end of January. That was a post that I posted on January the 7th that was just now going viral. In that moment, when I woke up on that Friday, from that post, I didn't just go viral. See, there's a difference. You can just go viral and not have any traction behind what it is you went viral for. My virality from that video turned into $28,000 that I generated. In the time of me transitioning Skinostics from a service-based business to an e-commerce business, that was our highest month that we had ever did. I took 6 months off after March 2023 to just try to fiddle with the transition and do some heavy lifting, work that back end. We were ramping up the income to get all of our formulas in. And so we were just doing some things, and trying to test the waters on a couple of things. So I did. I took 6 months off. And so the end of the fourth quarter, March 2023, that's when testing really started. But on that Friday, literally 12 hours later after he told me that, $28,000. And that was just from products alone.
So you go from a major voice in entrepreneurship saying, I wouldn't give you 20,000. And 12 hours later, you get 28,000.
That's exactly what happened.
What did you? I know you are a woman of God. That people need to know this. You are a woman of God. Cold-blooded woman of God. What revelation did you get from having a public, sort of a public embarrassing moment to a victorious moment?
Absolutely. I learned that, as I was told, social media is loud. And there are a lot of voices, but what I did learn was that was a voice, but not the voice, and I will always get what I want.
All right, stop. Would you go back? We got all right, preacher, go back. You said social media is loud. Now, this is a really special moment because we have someone. This is an entrepreneurship culture. All right, so we have someone in the studio that has, you have the proof of success. You said social media is loud. We had someone say, and we love his work.
Absolutely.
That's not the point. We're not calling him out, but sometimes the enemy can use powerful voices to discourage us. So how social media is loud. How did you navigate through the loudness of social media?
I have to tune people out. After that interview, was put on public display and things were cut up, and people were tagging me, and people had taken the videos and they were making their commentary. And I did have people, they were tagging me saying, I'm sure they were, I never looked, but I'm sure people were saying, hey Jaquila, like chime in. I don't know what the comments have said to this day, but I have had to just really put my blinders on, and I have really had to just focus and hone down on what God told me to do.
Is that the key to success?
Absolutely. You have to do what you are called to do. It's not going to be synonymous with what is always being done in the public eye by industry professionals, gurus, and those that have came before us. Everybody's walk is different, and so you cannot model your walk after what you think is the example. And so I don't do that.
What got you to the place where you're so confident enough to say, I'm going to do what God has told me to do versus doing what the loudness of social media kind of pushes us to do?
I've always been non-traditional. You can't tell me anything, and I'm just going to go with it. I have questions, and I want answers. So if you don't have answers for me, you talking about I feel and this is what you should be doing, this is what you need to be doing. I need to make sure of that.
You're gonna challenge that.
I'm gonna always challenge that, and that has not always been received well.
Yeah, absolutely.
From major voices in the industry.
Absolutely.
But I am not afraid to stand on that and double down on it.
Yeah.
And bow out and make my exit and continue to do what I know I'm called to do.
So we have social media does this thing where it tells you all the good stuff, all the success. What are some of the challenges you've pressed through, that you've had to go through to get to this point of success? What's the behind the scenes things that people don't know about your business?
Behind the scenes things that people don't know about my business is that there was a time where I was operating the business from home. And while I was operating the business from home, I got a knock at the door. I didn't know who was at the door, but the knock didn't sound like an ordinary knock. And so when I opened the door, it was the U.S. Marshals coming to evict me. At that time, I had product that was sitting on the counter. We were preparing for our very first launch ever for products exclusive to the Skinostics brand. And so can you imagine the products being swiped from the table that you had just spent 2 days prior bottling up, labeling, packaging, marketing on social media, and they're scooped up and they're put into trash bags along with the rest of your things. And so an eviction, other things that I've had to fight through is, I'll say this, personal perceptions from family, mindset. So entrepreneurship is mental. If you do not keep this together and be well, you will not be able to sustain. What a lot of people perceive as business issues, they're really personal issues that are unresolved, that are showing up in your journey. And if you do not resolve them, you are going to crash and burn. Ooh. So you have to be well. You have to be well. So I've had to, I believe that my family, they know what I do, but they don't understand the heaviness of what I am carrying. Yes. And so when it looks like I'm just on social media or I'm just posting, they look like that ain't nothing. But I don't know how they believe that things get paid, because I have to show up. There was a time I had to show up whether I was well or not. There was a time when I was able to do that. I don't know how. I believe, you know what? It was by the grace of God. Yeah. But at some point, your body will shut down. Yeah. And so my body shut down. I was not able to show up like I normally was. And I really had to take a break, and I had to step aside. I used to be able to crush goals and really just make these numbers. I'm hitting these goals. And I was a one-woman show. I've hired an esthetician before. I was on the journey of going to go and look for a storefront. I mean, I went through all the things. But I had to understand to be well first. And so people, they don't believe that they identify with you when you surpass them because of what it looks like. Because of what it looks like. But people have no idea what I have had to salvage, what I have had to rebuild, and the transitions I have had to make in entrepreneurship. It's not a game. This is mental. I can't talk to you anymore. I can't go those places anymore. I cannot be seen with you anymore.
What?
I can't come over there anymore. I can't. And so I don't believe that people truly understand how heavy it is to carry something like this. And I was just telling a friend the other day, they also have a beauty business. I said, you know what? I said, you keep saying how you're ready for people to see what you have been building, but we have to be okay with knowing that we may just be tilling the soil. We may just be cultivating the land. We may pass away and we may never see the business be what we have envisioned it to be. It may be for those that are coming after us, and we have to be okay with that.
That is right.
I don't want my children building from scratch.
That's right.
We've done that way too many times. Somebody has to stop that. Because why are we having to build from scratch every time? And that's how I felt when I felt like I had to sell my things to do this. Why do I have to do that? And then you have someone right here in the family that's building. Why are we going in so many different ways when you have somebody that's she's almost over this hurdle because we're heading towards ownership of the formula. I don't believe people understand what that means. They think esthetician and they think that, this is just a facial with some water. No. This is cosmetic science. See, I'm not just an esthetician. I wasn't just trained by Michelle Obama's esthetician. I enrolled into Spelman College and I took up cosmetic science. I've learned how technology works.
But y'all ain't listening.
And what ingredients do to the skin for me to be able to confidently go forward and not carry anybody's formula. We're coming to own.
So what happens when you own the formula?
When I own the formula, I am now able to open myself up to the possibility of going into retail, Ulta, Sephora,
Target,
Target, whoever will pick up the contract and the bid. I'm able to impede or invade these spaces and open Skinostics up to more accessibility, not just nationally, but of course, internationally. And also, I'm cutting out the middleman.
That's right.
We're able to have lower overhead and also higher profit margins. And that's where we want to be. We want to be on the other side of that. Now, it's time. 5 years, it's 10/17 this year. And so we've made it to the 5-year mark. I'm super excited for what's next.
Wow, that's
phenomenal. Want ownership. How in the world is our community, African Americans, how are we the highest consumers in the beauty industry, but we don't own nothing? How we buying all this stuff, but we don't own nothing? How so? No, I want my portion.
How can we help you become the owner of the formula? What can we do as supporters?
Oh goodness, we got some money to raise. We got some money to raise. It is a lot. We have several formulas, and we are conversing with several chemists actually. We're conversing with several chemists to do some engineering for these formulas, from cleansers to serums to moisturizers to even FDA approved and regulated sunscreen. We're not just talking about handmade products in our garage, and it's nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
But this is the real deal.
So this is not just selling t-shirts.
No. This takes money. This takes research. This takes trial and error, and it takes time. So we have some capital to raise. If you see Skinostics anywhere, listen, share the post. Go visit our website. Go pick up a product. Take a picture with it.
Do you get support from the Black community?
I do. My community has been 99.9% my clientele, hands-on and also hands-off. So in both sectors of the business, while I was primarily service-based in the treatment room, and then also with the products being hands-off in the virtual world. I've expanded to treat clients over in London. I've had clients I've treated virtually in London, clients in Africa. So we are definitely reaching. I believe it's only the beginning in this new space that we are in, but this is truly a big deal. I'm not just an esthetician. This is not just eyelash extensions. This is cosmetic science coupled with skin health and education. We are really putting the knowledge at the forefront for the consumer with cutting edge solutions. It's a big deal.
What's the? So I want to kind of change the wheel a little bit. What's the biggest issue that you see in your experience when it comes to African American skin color? When people come in, what are we not doing that's unhealthy that we need to improve on?
Gut health. Gut health. Because if your gut is your body's second brain, how could you not think that what you consume inside of your body won't manifest onto your skin? Reflecting from the outside, the inside out. It starts in the inside and it manifests its way out. So gut health, people think that they can just go and pick up a product and they believe they can just use it and it's supposed to clear their skin up like that. You tell me you've had 10, 15 years of acne and hyperpigmentation and you believe that you're supposed to be able to go and get a product and it's supposed to clear your skin in a week, 2 weeks. That's a lie.
What's the percentage out of 100%? What's the percentage of a person the reason their face looks a certain type of way is because of what they're eating? What will be the percentage?
The percentage of
the what they're consuming?
Their diet?
Yeah.
That's over 90%.
So the facial products, that's not the 50% solution.
No, that is not the 50% solution, but we also have to remember that as you age, after you reach the age of 30, you lose a teaspoon of collagen every year. So there are things that are happening with your body. As your body ages, it does break down. And so when you have skincare products that are coupled with true purified ingredients, a true pure molecule in those ingredients, you're getting 99.9% purity. Those ingredients are helping to build the skin barrier back up. All of those cells that are dying off and that you are losing, there are ingredients to help regenerate those cells and to revitalize the skin. But people do believe that, okay, if I just use the products, then no, you have to do both. You need diet and you also need to have the proper products. But patients also, they believe if I don't see results with this product within 2 weeks, within a couple of days, you'd be surprised the consultations that I have. They're hopping on to the next thing.
Should men have a regular skincare routine?
Absolutely. Skin has no gender. Everybody should have a skin routine. And it is not you just picking up a bar of soap in the store. People know I have this thing with turmeric. I want to be clear. I have no reservations or objections to turmeric. I just believe that turmeric has its place in the industry, but I don't believe you should be using bar soap on your face. That is not going to change from me. You need a skin cleanser that has been formulated for the skin.
So when men go to the store and we get we get body soap and we just kind of rub our faces with it, what is that doing to us?
That is stripping your skin of its natural oils. That's what it's doing. And so when you are stripping your skin of its natural oils, you are literally making your skin fall victim to pathogens, bacteria. It's becoming weak. It's breaking down. You're going to start aging faster. Fine lines and wrinkles will start to set in. People have this thing where they say black don't crack, and I ask them how. I know people I went to school with. How do they look? How? What happened? they are not taking care of themselves. Black cracks. And we're not using sunscreen either.
I've gone and every esthetician that I've gone to, they have always asked me, do I use sunscreen? And I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't. Should we include that in our skincare routine?
Absolutely. If you don't include nothing else, use sunscreen, don't use no cleanser. If it's gonna be like that, use the sunscreen, but don't use no cleanser. I tell people all the time, this ain't just about no money for me. I'm serious about this and I'm very passionate. People have died because we don't believe that we need sunscreen because we think that we are exempt from skin cancer.
Yeah.
By the time that comes up, when it comes to skin of color, it's too late. We are passing away. Now, is that rate as high for us than it is Caucasian skin? No, it's not. But is it still relevant for a conversation as such? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So sunscreen, that's a non-negotiable. I tell people all the time, if you're not going to use these products, if you're not going to use sunscreen first, don't even go and buy anything off the site. This is not just a money bag.
Wow.
This ain't about no money bag. This is not trendy. This is skin health. We're talking about skincare beyond just a trendy skincare product and you saying, hey, I'm doing my skincare routine, my facial routine. No, we are preserving our youth for as long as we can. And if we are aging, at least let's age gracefully.
So God has placed you in this industry and you have a passion for it.
Yes, sir.
Is there a sense of corruption even in your industry?
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I ain't trying to get you in trouble.
I can't say that.
Okay.
But yes, there is. There is corruption in the industry. It absolutely is. I have had to stop promoting companies that have endorsed me, have even sent me product and say, hey, promote our products. I have had to stop because of I'll say assets that they were incorporating with their brand's messaging. I can't carry that on me. There are no energies. There are no rituals. I'm not doing that. I'm not a part of that. I know to put that down. This is where we stop.
So it's not just in the music industry. It's
No,
not just,
sir.
this is broad.
Oh, absolutely. When I come to your skin studio, you are not rubbing stones on my face. You are not walking around my bed, the facial bed, with your sage. You're not doing that. No, sir. I'm out.
Why? What's the difference? What sets you apart, your product, your company, from all the others? If you could say, hey, all of them are good, but this is what sets me apart, what would you say?
Absolutely. At this time, with our Skinostics products, they're made with 99.9% pure ingredients. There are a lot of companies that are plant-based. I was just about to say that ours are plant-powered and plant-based as well, if you will. But the difference between our products and a lot of products that you will find out in the market, not just in the virtual space, but also in store too. This is something that I preach and teach. All skincare is not made the same, and just because you see the same ingredients on two labels for two skincare products, it does not mean that those ingredients are made with the same purity. Therefore, when you see cheap skincare products, I promise you it's a reason why they're cheap. You can go and buy a 16-ounce cleanser. I can think of a brand right now. You can go and buy a 16-ounce cleanser, right? And in that 16-ounce cleanser, on that label in the front, let's just say that the star product that they were highlighting was hyaluronic acid. That cleanser is about 16 ounces, but they're highlighting hyaluronic acid to be the key ingredient on there. But if we really broke down that label and how those ingredients are in that ingredient deck on that label, hyaluronic acid is toward the bottom, if not at the bottom, which means you got a 16-ounce cleanser that's full of filler ingredients that your skin doesn't even need, but you got a little bit of that star ingredient. So you believe because you got a 16-ounce cleanser, oh, I'm getting more bang for my buck, when really you are not. Compared to a Skinostics cleanser, you're getting a 4 or a 6-ounce cleanser and you're getting 99.9% pure ingredients, which means that you're able to use less product. Visually, the product is less. You are getting a lesser amount, but the purity of that molecule in that ingredient is so pure, we're able to get you faster results. And also, we have taken the filler ingredients out. So whatever your skin does not need, it will not have in that product. And whatever it does need, you're going to get 99.9% of that. So we're able to have you use less product. You're going to get results faster, and we're not compromising the integrity of your skin. We're building it up to be strong and to be able to fight off bacteria and pathogens.
I have 2 questions.
Absolutely.
Then I'm going to let you go. I know you're busy.
Yes, sir.
I walk up to you and I say, I'm an entrepreneur. I've started something, started a company, started a business, whatever, started a church. And I'm discouraged now. I've had failures, challenges, ups and downs. I've even taken a break. What do you say to a person that's feeling like maybe I should quit this, whatever that business is? I'm a pastor. I have a t-shirt brand. I have all those things. We got Hood and Holy in the church. We got so many people, and we've had ups and downs. No money, no this, no that. How do I know when to stop and when to keep going?
You know when to stop when, I'm not even going to start with stopping. You know to keep going because entrepreneurship is not for the entrepreneur. It's not for the entrepreneur. If you have been called to do what you know you have been called to do, it is not for you. I tell people all the time, you're not going to find me in a G-Wagon. You're not going to find me with the latest on. You're not going to find me shopping. You're not going to find that with me. Now, years ago, before I have obtained what I have now, I would have thought, oh, goodness. Now, I love some nice things. I love to travel. I would have thought I would have been the one. Bags here, bags there through the mall. But I have realized this is not for me. This is not for you. And so we have to take it always. We have to take this back to your why. Why did you start this? What did God tell you to do? If he told you to do this, then you have to walk this thing out.
So you care about the people, not the results of the product.
The product is a bonus. I have had people that I have worked with that have told me, you care way too much about, or you spend way too much time concerning yourself with, oh, what if they don't get the results versus the sale, Jaqueline? It's not just a sale to me. This is not just money that we're talking about. I'm going to make the money.
Sure.
The money is going to come. I'm too good at what I do.
Sure.
I could tell a stranger what I know, and they're asking me, where can I go buy? They beat down the block on TikTok, asking me, how can I go purchase? Before they go and rush to do that, I said, hey, let me tell you something. Let me ask you about 2 questions. Because we need to know if you're a good fit for this or not. Because if you're not, guess what? You're gonna find out about it when you get the product and it don't work.
That's right.
So let's start right, and let's not lead with a money bag.
Is this a ministry for you?
I do believe it is. There was a sector of business where I started consulting with a lot of estheticians, and I had a coach at the time. She was actually my first coach. She told me, she said, I believe the level of estheticians that you started consulting with, I believe that is ministry for you. However, once I dived into that, that's when I really noticed that this is trendy for them. This is not their life's mission. They see this money, and that's why it's not working for them.
Gotcha.
You keep asking me what I'm doing, and you don't know that I'm graced for this.
That's right.
I have vision for this, and that's not something that I could bestow upon you because I'm not the source.
Yeah.
You're coming to me and asking me for advice and guidance, but this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. So I ask you, what are you supposed to be doing? Do you even know? Because based off of what you are telling me, you got a lot of work to do. And it's not business, it's personal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Kelly, tell us where we can find you, how we can support it. Let us know.
Absolutely. You can connect with me on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and also Instagram at Skinostics. That's SKINOSTICS. And also Jakelli Unique, if you want to see me build this brand up, take it to the next level. We're going for ownership, guys. That's Jakelli, JAKELLI.UNIQUE. And that is not just a trendy word that I put behind my first name. That is actually my middle name.
Wow.
So Jakelli Unique, that is me.
You are absolutely that. Y'all show your love for Jakelli in the building, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Y'all do me a favor. Let everybody know that we interview the Jakelli Unique, y'all. Share it, like it, tag it. Love you. See you Monday.